Well, guys, it's like the day after. I wasn't gonna do a show, but talk to Joey, and we have to talk about a few things. And the glass half full, glass half empty. We were so excited about this. Thought it was going to be where the tide shifts, where West Virginia turned the corner, turned a new page. But I'm going to go through a few things on the good, the bad, and it's not as bad as we think it is. But let me start with the atmosphere. Guys, I can't even put into words the atmosphere. Okay. So I live 2 hours away from Morgantown. You come down 79, the Coliseum parking lot, usually that's called the black lot, is usually probably has maybe five or six RVs. Nothing but RVs. We had to park way back behind the Coliseum on like a bank. And this was at 9:20 in the morning. Absolutely fantastic atmosphere. If you were to rate the atmosphere, it would be an A++. Now, got to my tickets. They were in 131, row 23. Really great seats. Loved them. However, I'm at the end of a row. And because everyone in that row was big, I'm 220, but these guys were like maybe a few Happy Meals bigger than me. My kid and me had to stand in the aisle. It was that packed. So people are nice, great atmosphere. The flyover was spot on. Those F-16s from Shaw Air Force Base, they right when the national anthem was at its last bar, those boys were over, and then they cut right over Ruby. So that was it gives you goosebumps just talking about it. And if you're not, I don't know, you don't have a heart pumping, but that was fantastic. So I'm going to pull up some video, and we're gonna watch it together. No sound, but we'll see. This is where. And let me tell you, I have to preface this. I had a football game to go to at 7. My son and me cut out with 1:50 left in the second quarter. Yes, 1:50 left. We left and walked back to the Coliseum and made it in time to take our kid to this ball game. So I was planning to stay until the third quarter. Saw the weather coming in. Didn't look good. I thought I'd just pull the parachute because it was not competitive. It was not even close. And we'll talk about that. So let me share my screen here with you. Let's go to the chat real quick before we do that. Let's see who's all in the chat. Let me cancel this. Guys, I love it. Got a few people in the chat. So what we're going to do moving forward is I am basically the pivot man on the West Virginia channel. Because my kid plays ball on Fridays, I will be here every Tuesday and give you a show. I'll follow up with my Mountaineer Mafia show, and then probably on a Sunday we'll talk about the game recap. Dave Johnson says he rolled out after the third. You did not miss much. Yeah. Hey, Dave Brown, how you doing? So, guys, I'm going to share this with you once again, and I'll roll it back. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start. I'm going to rewind a little bit. So it started off with great field position for the Mountaineers, okay? This is just the highlights. So, the atmosphere is fantastic. It looks great. There's the fumble. West Virginia got it. Fantastic. We're excited. Okay. Let's fast forward a little bit. Okay, there it is. West Virginia gets a ball, gets a gift from God. I'm thinking, guys, it's going to happen. Mountaineers are going to pull it out. However, it looks like, let's rewind that a little bit. It looks like it hit him in the hands. Like, did it hit him in the hands? Yeah, it hit him right in the hands. But it looks like that the motion threw things off and it was snapped. It wasn't snapped in time. I don't think it was the center. I think it was a Garrett Green problem, a GG problem. And then we know all what happened from there. Okay, guys. First quarter and second quarter, big number 15, Drew Allers, threw a couple passes behind, ahead of a guy. Didn't look great. They kept the score closer. And then with just like 6 seconds left in the second quarter, Penn State goes up 20 to whatever it was, 3 or 6. Guys, broke my heart. There was no way in hell they were going to win that game. Everything looked off. I'm going to go through and we're going to grade them. We're going to grade each aspect of the game. So we already talked about how wonderful the atmosphere is. Okay. You could not ask for a better environment for college football. The people in Morgantown are absolutely fantastic. You know, it brings a tear to your eye every time I roll in there, and just the warmth. Okay. You could go in there without any Mountaineer gear on, and they walk past the tailgate. Even the kids, the college kids that were tuned up, were well behaved. But I have to point out an observation. And this isn't like a dig on, well, it kind of is. It's a backhanded compliment. Why does every Penn State fan have a football jersey? Now, West Virginia fans have jerseys, okay? But it's probably a ratio of maybe 15, 20%. I would have to say it's an 80% jersey ratio for Penn State. And then I see kids that are 18, 19 wearing white New Balance, looking like they took their polo from their dad. And the rocking gear looks a little too old for them. But the fans were nice. Penn State fans were nice, polite. But guys, let's talk about the dirty truth is West Virginia isn't as good as we thought they were going to be. Well, now, let's be positive. Positive thing is last year, they were worse, and they got better as the season goes. Seems like it's that kid who has problems in school, goes back for the summer, comes back, and then he has to start, behind, like where he was in February instead of where he ended in May. And I feel like the Mountaineers are starting off a couple months behind. Now, let's sprinkle some sugar on it. Tim Aiden, who was on the show Thursday. Guys, Penn State is legitimate top 5 program. They have a Ohio State team that's on the downswing. I don't think they're quite as good. They're still good. I think Penn State can run it. And if they can beat Oregon in the championship, guys, they could lose the Big Ten championship and they're still good enough to make the playoffs. So does that hurt my boo-boo kitty feelings? Does it help my hurt feelings that they're good, that you got beat by a good team? No, it doesn't make me feel any better. It doesn't make me want to go watch them roll up Albany next week. But as far as college football goes, the hope, the dream, it's like that lottery ticket. You get that lottery ticket, you're sitting there with a couple beers, buddies. What are you going to do if yours is a winner? You know, what are you going to do if the Mountaineers are winning? You know, that's the mentality. You rationalize, like, this is going to happen. This is because of X, Y, and Z. You know, Kuz's Corner put all those stats on there, made the numbers look like West Virginia's going to roll them up, but it didn't happen. So, you know, Nick Saban, Pat McAfee, Friday was epic. Guys, they had Owen Schmidt. You got Pat White. Yeah, you know, even Coach Neil Brown came on. That was fantastic and very entertaining. But let's move forward a little bit. Let's talk about all of college football. Okay, let's look at the scores and talk about that. So week 1, like right now, USC's up over LSU. I'm very surprised. It's 7-0. Looks like it's just about halftime. That is something. You know, we also had last Saturday, 0 week. Unless you've been under a rock, you know that Georgia Tech upset number 10 Florida State. That's just fantastic. But, you know, Missouri handled Murray State, blew them out 51-0. Utah rolled up Southern Utah 49-0. You know, Kansas, juggernaut, okay, 48-3. NC State handled Western Carolina. Then Friday, I watched Oklahoma dismantle Temple. Temple's still a homecoming game schedule, I guess, for everyone, like it was back in the 80s and 90s for the Mountaineers. So if you feel bad as a Mountaineer fan, okay, blow your nose, wipe your eyes, because if you're a Clemson fan, you should feel even worse, okay? At least West Virginia scored a touchdown. Clemson scored 1 field goal against the Bulldogs. Georgia rolled up 34 points. Now, first quarter, it was even, Steven. Looked like a good game. But it got ugly quick in the third quarter. So, Ohio State beat Akron. Why are they scheduling Akron? I have no idea. Oregon rolled up Idaho. It didn't roll them up. It was 24-14, and it was close into the fourth quarter. So, I don't mean rolled up. That they took care of business and they won. But the Vandals definitely gave them a game. So, Texas, Colorado State. Colorado State didn't even sniff the end zone. I mean, it was 52-0. You know, that was welcome to the SEC. Texas, you haven't played an SEC team yet. We'll see what happens there. But Texas looks to be a top 5 program for sure. So, Jackson, your Crimson Tide looked like the Crimson Tide from the Saban era. So, looks like they didn't miss a beat. Although they're playing Western Kentucky, 63 points. They hung on Western Kentucky. So, roll Tide. Guys, Ole Miss with a basketball score. Centennial, 1776. Nope, score was 76-0. Okay, guys. Furman with a huge bloody nose from Ole Miss. Man, what a 76 points, guys. They scored 28 points in the second quarter and 24 points in the first quarter. Ridiculous. Okay, Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Notre Dame handled them 23-13. It was tied at halftime. It was a game, but Notre Dame taking care of business. All right, we already talked about the Nittany Lions and the mediocre Mountaineers. 34-12. You know what happened. You saw it. If you're a fan of the show, a fan of the Mountaineers, man, I can't believe that. But Michigan, Fresno State, Michigan handled business 30-10. Is Michigan as good as Penn State? I don't think so this year. I don't think so. Michigan tends to not do well after they have a coaching change. It just doesn't. They don't handle transition well. Where Ohio State and there's other programs seem to do a little better. Tennessee, 69-3 against Chattanooga. Guys, what are they doing scheduling these teams? Okay. Tennessee looks to be okay this year. I think they're ranked 15, but I can see them in the top 10. So South Dakota State Jackrabbits and Oklahoma State. Guys, it was respectable until the third quarter when Oklahoma State pulled away, 44-20. Let's see if those Cowboys are for real. Last year, they laid a big egg and lost to South Alabama. This year, they took care of business. Hey, Gunny looks like he has the ship on course for a conference championship. I think so. Guys, we stay in the Big 12. Kansas State and UT Martin, 41-6. Willie the Wildcat was doing lots of push-ups, guys. Kansas State, they come to Morgantown. We'll see. But if the Mountaineers are even get a little bit better, that's still not much solace, guys. Vegas might be right. So, Miami, the U. This kind of, I don't know why, it just didn't surprise me, but we said on this show, Joey and I, for months, Miami's pretty good this year, and they showed it. Guys, they were away. They went into the swamp. The Hurricanes went in the swamp and rolled up the Gators 41-17. I love it. So, Arizona, welcome to the new conference, Big 12 play. They start off with New Mexico, non-conference game, but still 61-39. Defense did not look that great, but it was competitive up until about the third quarter when they hung 21 points in that third quarter. And they went from being up 3 to being up 21. So, guys, or 24. And it ended up being 61-39. Arizona looks legit. Fritz, he could ball at Tulane, and he sure as hell can ball at Arizona. I thought they were overrated, but we'll see. I think they might be legit. So look forward to watching more Arizona games. Okay, Iowa, 40-0 over Illinois State. Nothing more to say there. And guys, tomorrow, Florida State's back at it against Boston College. So that was a quick wrap up of the games. So I told you 38-14. You said write it down. Brother, you were right. I was drinking the Kool-Aid. Usually I'm pretty even keeled. I got bit by the hype bug, by the motivational blue and gold enemas that they were shoving up my butt, and I freaking am feeling it. I have a hangover. I'm a sad panda today, waking up. Guys, it's like Morgantown, the atmosphere with Pat Mack the night before. Okay, Fox Noon was there. It was fantastic. I mean, it was electric, you know. It's like having $100,000 wedding, okay, and then the bride gets food poisoning and vomits on the cake as she's cutting it. That's what it was like, okay? So, Steven, you are right. And I want to hear more from you because I need you to be my new Magic 8 Ball, okay? Help me out, brother. So, are you disappointed? Are you sad? Or is this what you expected? If you listen to Steven, you should have expected that. But couldn't even get the ship straight second quarter after that huge weather delay. Guys, that weather delay, I made it the whole way from Morgantown to about 30 miles north of Pittsburgh, and I still had 15 minutes before I had to turn the game on and watch it at my house. Watch a little bit at the house, and then went up to watch Slippery Rock Rockets beat Franklin 38-7. So That was good. Guys, I'll be here. I'm still going to be a Mountaineer fan. Okay. But I'm going to warn you. Pitt has a glass and a whoop ass. And they think they can come into Accurize Stadium, which is their home field, which is really the field they still share with the Steelers. Guys, I'm worried. If the Mountaineers play anything close to the football they played yesterday, Pitt, a team that was having problems with Kent State, might think they can beat a much better Mountaineer team. So, another little sprinkling of positivity there. There were 50 stud recruits in attendance. From my seat, I could see all those young men and their families soaking in that Mountaineer mojo. And you could tell it wasn't prickly hot. They're feeling it. They're feeling that love and that those vibes, man. And you can't reproduce that. If you come into Morgantown in January, or if you have that kid visit in April, it's not going to compare to the juice, the electricity, the mojo, the Mountaineer love that was just going through that stadium. It was fantastic. Unfortunately, the Mountaineers took a big shit. But, guys, thanks for tuning in. Watch Joey and me Tuesday at 8. I'm going to do my other show at 9. And then on Thursdays, Joey and me are going to still be doing the crossover show where we talk about, some other teams, talk about the Big 12, whatever is hitting on the old YouTubes or on the news, we're going to talk about it. And I would love to see you there. Like and subscribe. Hit us up in the comments if you have anything you'd like for us to talk about. Guys, you have a great Labor Day weekend. Be careful. Be safe. Let's go, Mountaineers.